Hello and welcome to the Handicapable Black Woman Throne Room. My view of humanity is a whole new tea. Hi, hello, how are my wonderfuls, my beauties, my royalty? Let's get that boiling, scorching, hot, petty tea out. If you like it cold, just hold the ice. Yeah, we've got to hold yeah, hold the ice. Okay. Okay. Let's dig in because I have a lot of thoughts. This is like a combination of politics, river of racism, and just the poorly educated, the ignorant, all of that. Okay. And yes, my channel is as messy as my life. And yes, I need to go back to other series and continue them because I have so many thoughts on them. And I'm doing The Boys Will Be Boys. I'm starting the Yesteryear, and without reading the book, but I'm going to get to it. I will. And trying to, yeah, you already know about all of my businesses, the streams of businesses that I'm working on. So, but the petty today. Oh, and before I forget, check out my Patreon. Yeah, I have the River of Racism. I have the dating nightmares. I have catfish, and I have more catfish. I added some more this morning, and I have so many more screenshots. It's so sad how many more. But I'm gonna get back to Reddit one day, and yeah, I have so many Reddit stories I need to cover, and so much more, and so much more. So many river of racism now that I'm thinking about it. One reason why some of them are not up yet is because some of them are so large, and it's gonna take like one of them's probably gonna take 3 or 4 hours. Oh yeah, but okay, let's yeah, this is river of racism, so let's dive in or get into the canoe, grab a snack, let's go. Okay, because okay, who has heard about what Pete Hegseth has done recently? Very recently. If you're watching this recently, you might need to go back and look it up. This is right around April 16th. Yeah, so it's like by now, hopefully you had already filed your taxes or at least asked for an extension and things like that. If you didn't, okay, come on now. It's like I want to help you. Help me, help you. Let's do this. We got this. Okay. But yeah. Oh yeah, because on the Nerd channel I'm going to be talking about investing, well, books, investing, anime, my business, a lot about my businesses and things like that. But yeah, a lot's gonna like since a lot of men hate me for investing, and a lot of men do not want to date women who invest because that's going to be her way of getting out if the guy turns out to be a total jerk. So I feel like one of my goals and passions is to teach more women to invest their money. Yeah, because that means a man's going to have to be good enough to stay with. Yeah, yeah. And I think that's why so many men keep trying to come back into my life because they realize, like, oh, yeah. It's like they're still no good, but they still want another chance, or they see that all of the efforts I've put in myself are finally flourishing and things like that. And or they see the hints of the flowers blooming, like all the seeds that I've planted for years and years. Now some of them are starting to see the flowers and stuff. So now they want to come out, but they're weeds. Oh, they're weeds. Yeah. But okay. Pete Hegseth. He had this speech thing for like the part like the defense. He calls them like the war team or whatever, but it's defense. It's kind of like when the Orange Man renamed the Gulf of Mexico. No, it's the Gulf of Mexico in my eyes. So, okay. Pete Hegseth did his little speech, and he decided that he wants to quote the Bible. And for one, it's like, hold up, wait a minute, what you doing? And it's like, and it's really funny because all these people want to give advice to the Pope on theology and things like that, and they want to tell him to be careful, but then you want to quote the Bible, and when you're supposed to be, talking about like, you're telling him he needs to be careful, but are you? Are you? But, huh. I just find it really interesting who he ended up quoting. Yeah, yeah. I really find it highly intriguing and interesting with who he ended up quoting, especially Pulp Fiction. I'm like, have you watched that movie? Because it seems like you don't like my people. So you watched that movie? If you did you close your eyes every time? Like, because maybe that's why he didn't catch it. Maybe that's why he missed it. And it's like, isn't this one of those Christian men who say they read from the book every day or they study the Bible every day? It's like, because we already know some of the views of his pastor and how he sees women. I've been kind of doing a little research on what he thinks of black people, but I'm still doing the research, so I'm not going to say too much right now. But it's not good. And then we already know about the tattoos and why he had to leave parts of the service and stuff like that. Yes, because some of his tattoos symbolize, like the white supremacy and stuff like that. Not one, but two. One might be oops, but two might be that's a pattern. We're starting a pattern and things. But then also, hmm, who does he not want to promote with like the army generals and things like who doesn't want to promote the women and black people who who if you guessed Pete Hegseth, you'd be right. Yeah. I mean, yeah, like it makes sense, right? We see a pattern, just like those tattoos, we're seeing a pattern. But I find it highly interesting how he thought he was quoting the Bible. Unless Samuel L. Jackson is, the next coming of God, huh? And like how we all know, God ain't white. Like that's gonna hurt some people. I don't even care. It's like, yeah, because remember the scriptures that describe what Jesus looks like. Okay, does that sound like a white man? Does that sound like a white man? Yeah. Think about, yeah. Concentrate. Think about, yeah. Either that or he has a really good tan, the same type of tan a lot of these celebrities be buying on but not the type that the orange man has, because the orange man, okay, it says it all in the nickname. Oh yeah, but yeah. Anyway, okay, but did he like? He must not have known that he was quoting from a movie. And then on top of that, quoting from Samuel L. Jackson's character, a black man. If he had only known that he was quoting from a black man, I wonder if he would still have said those words. And since this is a fictional Bible verse, I wonder which verses he would have pulled out of the Bible to say what he really wanted to say. And it's really funny how some of these Republicans have the nerve to say or try to give advice to the Pope about theology, but they can't even get the verses right in the Bible. But then they're so Christian and they're all about God. Like, shut up. Like, if you were really Christian, you would have checked yourself. It's like maybe you would have gone into like, see, and this just shows he doesn't open that Bible. Okay, in my opinion. Oh, and just remember, all of this is like every episode, in my opinion. But part of me is just like, did he open it? Has he opened it? He says he goes to church. Does he not take a Bible with him to church? Does he open the Bible when he's in the church? And even if he doesn't have the Bible, does he have the Bible app at church? Like, cause yeah, like my daddy uses the Bible app. I mean, yeah, it's like, I mean, all he had to do was get on a tablet and type in the chapter and verse to make sure he was checking himself, because since that's not a Bible, like, how did he get to it? What website did he pull up? Or which minister told him to say it? I doubt it was the guy that he goes to their church for, because yeah, ooh, that would be some good gossip. And but yeah, he was quoting a black person. It seems like he doesn't like us, so that's kind of surprising that he would quote a character that is black. That it sounds like that would be one of the last things he would ever want to do. Yeah. Yeah, and now I really want to know with Samuel Jackson. I want to know what he thought of Hexa's, performance on the stage of his famous quote. I mean, it sounds like it had to be famous if Hexa used it like that and used it as a tool for his speech for a war. You would think, but we really need to examine a lot of these religious people. Because even with that Easter speech, with that one woman who, ooh, her history, especially when it comes to marriage and money and crime, and it's really funny because, okay, let's step back from the river of racism just for a little bit, just for, just put your paddles in the boat, take your nibble on your snack a little bit. But, like, when she tried to compare the orange man to God, to Jesus. Oh, yeah. Don't choke on the snack, okay? Yeah, if you haven't heard, yeah. Yeah, right around Easter. That's what she did. That's what she did. And I just remember being shocked, disappointed, and shocked, because she even said that he was falsely accused and stuff, and it's like, what? Have you read it? Like, see, I don't think any of these Republicans read. I don't think they read. One didn't read from the Bible to get the verse right, chapter and verse right. And the other one didn't read the Epstein files, which, guys, go to the Epstein files. Go to the, like, I've put them in a couple episodes, like the direct link to the files, but if I remember, I'll try to do it with this episode too, because yeah, we need to make sure we do not forget about the Epstein files and the cases and stuff, because it's right now we're seeing so many men getting busted and so many men getting accused or getting busted. Okay, because yeah, they haven't been found guilty yet, so they're innocent until proven guilty. But it's just, with the whole boys will be boys, some people keep blaming other people, like, oh, then why didn't they tell on him? Why didn't they do this? Why didn't they? Maybe the same reason why all these millionaires and billionaires just keep getting richer while still having their names in the documents, and people are still buying from these key people's companies, or people are still looking up to this person as a leader of this country, even though. But he's okay. He's innocent and still proven guilty. But oh yeah, he was found guilty in some other matters that were in, like, semi-similar situations. And then we can't forget Stormy Daniels too. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, let's get back to paddling river of racism, because we're seeing a pattern within the country. And black women told y'all so. We did. We told you. We told everybody. But no one would listen. People kept saying that we're overreacting or we're making it up, and that Even though the orange man's name, I believe, is in Project 2025 about 75 times. I think it's more, but I want to say it's 75 times. They were like, since he said that he had nothing to do with it, his followers agreed. Yeah. They didn't want to listen to the black women, even though, like, as black women, we have to pay attention to this country like nobody, like no other demographic in this country. We have to be careful as women and being black. So, on a daily basis, we have to be the most careful. And during the first presidency, we noticed things that everybody else was just like, la, 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 la. Like, wake the crap up. But then people kept telling us to be quiet or calling us out of our names or saying that we were lying and making it up or overreacting and stuff like that or exaggerating. It's like, now look, I believe they said that they have like around over 51% of Project 21 done and they're working on Project 2026. And they forgot that the orange man lies all the time. So when he said that he had nothing to do, but then literally right after his presidency, he hired the person, the creator of it, and now other countries are trying to use the exact Project 2025 handbook. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And yeah, it's just, don't even know. It's interesting. In that when you keep finding different racism or races, because even in Project 2025, there's hints, like, especially when it comes to ICE, like a lot of people of color didn't know that they were going to be treated like us for a change. Okay. And especially with, well, I want to say they're my friends in Dearborn, but the way they treated black women, I'm like, we might just need a break because, oh, now they want to come together. And then now I'm seeing so many videos now about the Muslim and Middle Eastern communities. Now they want to unite with black people. Now they're saying, but we have to come together. We have to be one. Like, what? What? Now you want to, like, no, we were doing the hard work when we were telling you, and we were even telling you, once Kamala is in office, we will fight for you guys, and we will try to make sure that whatever's going on in, like, overseas, that we will help you get this resolved and fix it. And because she's the vice president, or back then she was the vice president. And so it's the president that is in charge and doing what he is doing. But once Kamala isn't, like, we told, like, but they didn't listen to us. They were acting like she was doing it. We're like, okay, vice presidents they don't see. This is why we need to teach better in history class, because a lot of people are confused, deluded, or just poorly educated about what the different departments of our government do, including the vice president. Mm. Maybe that's the same reason why they forget why the orange man has a new vice president. Yeah, we all know about what they want to do with Pence, right? Right? Black women know. Yeah. Anyway. I don't know. It's exhausting and frustrating because, like, yeah, we told you about and that, yes, I keep saying it because Project 2025, we told you with the war and with the vice president, we told you. And with even with the Crown Act, do you know how many, like, people of color were like, oh, well, it's not a big deal, and oh, well, you look prettier with straight hair, anyways. You look prettier with relaxed hair. Like, even the relaxers can cause cancer and stuff. Oh yeah, but you want to tell me that you don't care about my health? I thought all lives matter, but you don't care if I pass away over my hair. Okay, all right, the chemical, yeah, okay. And then also, like, the environmental racism. It's like, yeah, we have, you know, up in Louisiana, like there was that lawsuit because of all those factories and how many people were getting cancer because of the chemicals in that area, but they couldn't leave because they couldn't afford another house and no one wanted to buy the house that they were living in. And like they filed a judgment and stuff, but a majority of these people are black. Majority of these people are black. And the judge who was appointed by the orange man, yeah, he dropped it. He didn't care about them. But people don't know about the environmental racism that black people still face on a daily basis. And then we can't forget about the Hispanic community and even the Asian community when they were going to those restaurants and they were finding out what black people go through on a daily basis because they weren't getting the best of seats. Especially, I think this was a restaurant, like what the main example I'm talking about, but this happens all the time in different at certain restaurants where they will only sit certain people of color in certain areas of the restaurant. They won't sit them at the best tables. They won't sit them where everyone can see them because that's for non people of color. Yeah, that's where the yeah. And then we can't forget about the college acceptance and stuff because Asian people say they're smarter than us, even though 92% of black women voted. Yeah. Even though black women are the most educated demographic in this country, but then they say they're smarter than us and they say that they deserve, to get into college more than we do, but then they didn't think it through because with the law that they're canceling out now, the advisors were able to look at the names more, and now the admissions people can see their names and they can like especially like the Asian last names, especially first names and last names, but some who don't have Americanized, first names. Yeah. Oops. So now there's a decrease of Asians getting accepted into especially the high, like the Harvards and Stanfords and Princetons and stuff like that. But there's a slight increase in African Americans. Oops. Oops. Yeah, you didn't mean to do that, did you? Yeah, you didn't. You said we weren't smart and stuff, but yeah. But now some of you guys are begging African Americans to work with you to now create a new like law where the first one was working really good, but now you want basically you want to build one that now benefits you more. And this is one reason why went back to the Dearborn, group, the Middle Eastern, they want us to partner with them too. They want us to group up, but every time black people group up and team up with another demographic, once that other demographic gets what they want, then they leave black people out to dry. They only want us to help them until they get what they want. They don't care about what black people need. And that's one reason why we're tired and exhausted. They say we're lazy. We're not lazy. We're exhausted because we keep having to work and everyone wants us to work for them. Everyone wants our help. Everyone knows that we've struggled so much that we know different ways and things of how to resolve and think things through. So they need our help because they're not used to that. They don't know about that. It's like they know we have to struggle, but they don't want to admit it. They say we're lazy, but they know we've had to work all of our lives. And we've had to work through the racism, through the bigotry, through the hatred, through the denials of how our daily lives are. They don't understand. It's like the only thing they understand is that they need us in order for them to get to a different level, to a higher level. And one of the best examples is during the women's suffrage movements. When the white women wanted to vote, they needed the black women. And they were like, oh, yeah, we're in this together. As soon as those white women got what they wanted, drop the black. Well, we don't need you anymore. And this has happened a few times throughout history. But it's happened so many times, and black people, we've been paying attention. And it's really funny how Some people were so like, oh, you guys act like you learn different history. And oh, this reminds me of that stupid, no good girl I went to high school with on Facebook. I've talked about her before. Like, catch up. There's over 700 episodes. But I remember, like, I was talking about the education system and how we need to teach more about African American history and how African Americans learn history differently and more at home. And she got so offended. She was so upset. So it was to a point because she started sending her evil, conniving, poorly educated friends out to like harass me. So I had to block her and them. And I think I might have screenshots on my old computer. Oh, I don't know if I can get to the. I'll see. I don't know. But it was disgusting because so many white people were just like, you act like you have different history, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, no. So then I would start listing things. I know about that. What do you know about that? Well, I've heard of it. Okay, hearing about it's different than knowing about it. And then they would type things, but then I would copy their statement and put it in Bing, and then it would send me to an article. So they literally copied and pasted from a website. So they're just proving that they didn't really know about it. Like, even if they had just said something so broad, but it showed me that they knew about it. That's all I didn't want. I didn't need specific states or anything like that. But it's like they were so determined to try to prove me wrong when they were proving themselves wrong, that they didn't know what in the world they were talking about. And it's like the 1619 project thing too. Oh, and this, yeah, it's a good book too. Yeah. So many people were trying to put it down and downplay it and everything. And I remember Megan became, ew, that woman, she kept trying to correct it. And it's like, sit your ignorant bigot. And this is all in my opinion. But to me, she's just an ignorant bigot. Like, some of the things that she said on The View, I was just like, oh, no, never, never. But now we've got Hexeth quoting Samuel L. Jackson. We've got more like we've got somebody who has shown that he doesn't like us that much, but he wants to take credit for reading that part of a Bible that's not actually part of the Bible. He wants credit for basically making that kind of quote famous when, yeah, it's famous by a black man, but it's a fictional Bible verse too. You say you're so Christian, but, and I was like, yeah, I don't know the whole, like, yeah, it's like, especially when I still, I'm Christian, but I'm spiritual. I'm, yeah, when I was little, they made us like remember Bible verses and things like that. And yeah, I'm good on that. Yeah, it's like I'll read from it and stuff like that, but especially after my pastor was like, "Oh, men want the three B's, and one of them is to read the book. But when I say the book, I mean the Bible. No, I'm good. I'm like, so you want me to be ignorant? Out of all of the books and the technology and things out there, you want me to be as ignorant as possible." And this is going to lead to one of the other series because I've been talking about standards and how so many men want dumb women, how they want uneducated women, why so many red pill men say women go to college but don't pay attention because they want you dumb. They don't want you to learn. They don't want you to be smart. They don't want you to think for yourselves. Just like black people. See, if white women could just talk to black people, especially black women, because yeah, a lot of the Christian community is like the patriarchy and things like that. Who, but like the colonizing white women, they just want to use us. Or they want to silence us. They really want to silence us. Hmm. Thank you so much for listening to the Handicapable Black Woman Throne Room. I am a woman, I am of color, and I am handicapable. But most importantly, I am human and you're human too.